What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode. Today we're going to continue the build on the Gladiator. We're going to mount our brand new Smitty built overland tent on top of our Gladiator, and we're going to use a product from, you guessed it, Fishbone. They have a sick looking rack that goes on the back of the JT, mid-height just like I like. I don't want something that's way too tall where I can't drive the Jeep in the garage for the day-to-day lifestyle, and I also don't want to be way up in the air. It doesn't make sense to me. But anyway, let's get this thing put on the Jeep. Hope you guys enjoy the videos. Don't forget, like, subscribe, and as well today, the people over at Fishbone sent us a little giveaway surprise. So stay tuned for that. You know, some people, when they ship out stuff to us, they ship it out and it's poorly packed. I'll be honest with you. It doesn't seem like sometimes it comes in and it's already dinged, scratched, and yeah, it's my Jeep. It's gonna get scratched on the trail. But take a look at what these guys do. They take pride in even the smallest thing like shipping. They might have went overboard, but I think it's pretty cool. Check it out. What do we got?
Hardware pack, foam, brackets. Foam.
If you guys want to win the Fishbone universal grab handles, all you need to do is go down to the comment box below. Let us know about your rig. Let us know about your build, where you're from, anything. Give us a shout out and we'll put your name in a draw to win these universal glad handles, again, from Fishbone. They wanted to send you guys some love by sending you a giveaway present. So that's what we got.
That is some wrapped up stuff. Crossbar.
So that'll be the middle piece.
Put that there for now. How's it going? Chris here at Edmonton 4-Wheel Parts. So we got the Fishbone rack for Lance, all unwrapped, kind of mocked in to make sure everything was fitting good and straight. Superior packaging from these guys. Everything was wrapped up nice, no damage anywhere. Doesn't come with instructions in the pack, but they do have a really good detailed video on their website as well as downloadable PDF instructions, so you guys can figure out how the brackets go for the hardware. So this one's held in with a little bit of a positive clamp force, so they use a bracket, squeezes up in between the rail, uses some carriage bolt hardware, and clamps down in place, keeps everything tight. So take a quick look at their website, check things out. They've got a lot of nice pad foaming for everything to be put on so it doesn't squeak or rattle or cause paint or damage. Keeps a little buffer between the accessory rack and the truck itself. So yeah, we'll get this thing all ready, get all the foam on it, and we'll come back in a few and show you some more bits as she's bolted in. All right, so first step here is pop off the clamps for the tonneau cover from the factory. It's just a T30 Torx bit. That way we can move our bars into the position that we need. Pop that guy off later. The tonneau cover clamps out of the way. Now we can put this in, slide it back. So you want to kind of leave these loose. I haven't put the foam on yet just because I want to make sure all the crossbars fit the truck box properly and we're not going to have any fitment issues. So now it's time to put foam on, time to put bolts in. Alright, I usually find it best to start at the top. Make sure the holes all line up, everything's nice. As close to being on the edges as you can. Get everything nice and aligned. You'll notice there's a gap there. What I usually do with these parts is grab a razor blade. Quick little slice. Boom, just like that.
Okay, well, we're going to continue on, knock out all the rest of the foam pieces, and we'll see you guys once we're done.
All right, so we got some of it assembled, just going off of what their instructions show. Kind of took a little test fit of our own, made sure everything lined up, put the tape best where we thought fit. So we ended up going with a piece on the outer end of the skinny one, so this be your roof bar. that's this guy up here. And then the sidebar, we put the tape going with the channel that it lays against, so it'll have the most cushion. You don't need tons, just enough to take vibration and noise and stuff away. And then we've assembled half the cage rack. It's just loose now. We will tighten it down once we get the bed mounts onto the rail. And well, we got it this far so you can have a quick peek at it. It's a nice little piece, nice and light. So depending on which Gladiator options you got with the Rubicon, if you got a Rubicon, there was a trail rack system available in it, so like a cargo rack from factory. This rack is set up, if you do have that, it comes with these T-nuts to go in the channels to make mounting of the legs a little simpler with your trail rack system. If you don't have that option like Lance, then you are going to use the clamp force style brackets up under here using a carriage bolt and tightening it down and clamping it to the rail.
The large carriage bolt?
Yeah, the 50mm bolt.
Okay. And then these smaller bolts are what's going to hold your top and side racks together.
Yeah, and then you have some hex bolts. These are for the accessory mount that they've installed on here for whatever you choose fit. Could be an axe mount, could be awning setup, whatever. Just some cool stuff they've put into it so you could utilize it for whatever overland or camping needs you have, right? So, bracket to rail time. You want to take these kind of C-shaped brackets. This will be your top, the L shape is the bottom. You want this to come up underneath the inside of the bed rail here and sit comfortably against something. So with these guys, just kind of finagle them into the holes. I find the best way is slide your hand right behind the back, hold both carriage bolts in place, put on a washer and a nut real quick. That way the hardware doesn't keep dropping out on the back of you, and then you can move it around and put it into position. So slide the plate behind the mount, takes a little bit of wiggling, but once you get her in there, find a comfy place. Don't worry about your lag bolts, they're going to move because that channel on the back's got a little bit of slotting to it. They will snug down. What I do is I just hold it at the back of the bracket into the top of the channel, grab a 19mm and just snug them down for now. They don't need to be super tight. We're not gonna lock it down in final position right now, but you just don't want them moving around. Then you can fine tune it as need be. Push them up to the highest point so that they're the flattest. Give it a snug down. Now she's good and tight there. And then once these are tight, you can go around, tighten down the side supports, tighten down the roof support. So me and Lance were just kind of getting ready to put his tent onto his rack. He's got the Smittybilt overland tent. We're kind of looking at different ways to mount it. Smittybilt provides their hardware. So what you do is you slide these into the channel here and you put the hardware through, and the hardware attaches to the plate like this, and it's meant to clamp into a bar system, universal mount, roof racks, multiple fitments. Super easy to mount to pretty much anything, square tube or round tube. Well, Lance's roof rack, the Fishbone rack, doesn't have round or square tube. They have a flat stamp steel style. So we were taking a look, and what we've come up with is going to be the best fitment for us and this application is if you actually take the rail back off the top of the rack, take their carriage bolts out of their hardware. The carriage bolt actually fits perfectly into the Smittybilt tent channel. So we are just going to put that on there. If you actually look, the carriage bolt sits back in. So we're going to use all three mounts, bolt this back on, and then back up onto the truck. Then we can utilize the Fishbone hardware to mount the Smittybilt tent to his truck for a perfect fit, no rattle, absolutely tight.
All right, guys, we are done. Chris has got it all installed, and it looks pretty freaking epic, actually. I've never installed one of these. He has done tons of them. We're going to talk to him about what he thinks the fit and finish is. From our conversations while he was building it, he says that it came along really well. And well, let's hear what he has to say.
So we're about, say, hour and a half, maybe 2 tops. And
that includes the tent.
yeah, from start to finish, call it 2 hours. We fooled around with a couple of different fitments of some things, wanted to make sure everything was lined up. Lance's Jeep's pretty new and clean still. He hasn't dragged it on a tree yet, so fit and finish is key because, well, you want it to look good as well as function, right? So the fitment of this Fishbone rack, I'm actually impressed with. It's nice, it fit well, it went together easy, minimal issues. All the hardware was there, everything was packaged nice, instructions online were color and detailed. Like I said, there are a couple pieces supplied by them for the rails that we didn't need, but everything was there. So went together really well. The only real challenge we had was mounting of the tent, as I showed you earlier with the lag bolts through the rail. It worked out perfect. The lag bolts or carriage bolts were a little sticky going down the rail, but they went down just fine. If you do attempt this mount, I would try using a rubber dead blow hammer if they get stuck. Other than that, they were pretty simple. But it allowed us to mount it straight to Fishbone's flat rail. Solid mount, 6 points, 3 on each side. Honestly, couldn't get a more solid mount for the tent for Lance and his family. So super impressed. Before he decided to go this route, he actually got the rough country in-bed tire mount. I had my concerns about getting the tire off. It's not going to be easy. He's going to have a struggle, but it's still doable. We can get that big 37 out of there if he gets it flat in the trail. So,
because I refuse to stick it up underneath, because whenever I sink, how the hell am I going to get it out? And then it's going to be caked in mud and snow, and then I got to dig it out. Or it could just be clean and put away and at an angle so I could stick other crap in here.
You got a 13-year-old son that can pull that out for you, right?
Yeah, I do. Perfect. Yeah, put his ass to work. All right, you guys. Well, we are done. Don't forget to come to 4 Wheel Parts. If you guys want any parts at all, they have this in stock on their site. I'll put the product code down below so you can look it up on their website. And other than that, as always, thanks for watching. We hope you guys are having an awesome day, and we'll see you next time.